see you. I think you have killed the dragon. Yes, of course you have. You wouldn't have brought his head otherwise. Oh, stupid me. I may have drunk a little too much. You see, once these beasts turned against each other and started attacking the town, we knew that something must have happened. And since the attack suddenly stopped, well, there was only one possible explanation, that you have done it. And it looks like you have. Oh, you have saved this town. There are no words to express the town's gratitude. Just free drinks and meals, of course. Whatever you want. I will try to. Our stores are low, but I will try to bring you whatever you have. I do believe the Baroness wanted to see you, though. She visited here for a moment, but this ruckus is not for her, she said. She must be at her mansion now, celebrating in her own way.
Sure. I suppose we should go and show her this. Sort of looks at the head, sort of with loving eyes.
Sort of looks a little down. Clearly, she just want to stay here and eat and drink all Talia has to offer.
Don't worry. When we come back tonight, we're going to get hammered.
Yay!
You didn't think he got that name as more than a joke, right? When I drink, I can be just as dumb as him.
Oh boy.
Do you eat trees then?
He shrugs and says, I suppose we'll see.
You can't prove anything.
Talia, before I go, gestures for a drink.
You will get whatever drink you desire from Talia.
Fauna needs... She's had a long day. We'll go, I guess, to the Baroness, because that's what we need to do.
Many of the tavern's patrons actually follow you out of the street, out into the street, still cheering, which in turn causes many of the people who have rather decided to hide in their houses to also come out, adding to the cheer.
Fauna's headache
just slow enough on Hammer that they can follow.
Fauna's headache intensifies.
Headache, really?
Yeah, been a long day.
Kill
I
the
used
dragon.
all
She also like hit herself and like shot herself and stuff. We shouldn't.
Yeah. Also, I used like all of my drugs on myself today.
Alicia's feeling great. She did not lose a whole lot of hit points in that battle, and Hammer though is like a little tired, but you know it's hard to tell because he hasn't. We can't really show it in any way. So, you know.
Eleanor, Iberian.
Arriving at the mansion, you do see Mr. Grumpy Guard, who you still don't know the name of, because he's never told you.
She's smiling.
He smiles brightly and taps one of you on the shoulder, opening the gate and beckoning you inside.
Sure.
Where the Baroness immediately comes out. A giant smile on her face. You have done it, just like the slayers of old. Oh, I wish I could have been there. You must tell me everything.
Alicia begins to tell the tale.
Yeah, Eleanor just
the epic
motions to
battle.
Alicia as he stands back, smiling slightly, his arms crossed, looking at her.
Honor takes
It will take hours.
Yeah, the Baroness's son actually brought a small notepad, is writing all this down.
Oh, sure.
She's
Mumbling
describing
something
the
about
movements
writing history.
Of all of them, and of everyone moving and how they did this and this. And it will sound to the others probably very heroic, very honorable.
Honor's going to
very
take a
amazing.
drink.
Tidor's
Maybe
gonna
you don't even remember doing that, but it sounds pretty good.
Tidor's just staring at Fauna's drink, like, with big eyes.
We'll offer you a drink.
Awesome, she'll take it.
Luckily, Fauna has a spare wine glass, so there you go.
Awesome!
I'm sure the Baroness wouldn't be above giving you wine. I mean,
Oh no.
like if you want it, I don't think
No,
she'd be like,
she-
what?
she-
No!
She gestures you inside of her mansion, going back to the table that you had the emergency meeting on before. This time, like, decked with some snacks, some wine, and looking not quite as depressed as during the meeting. This time it was actually prepared, like a small festival almost in her mansion. And as you begin talking, she listens intently. Her son writing everything down, saying that he is going to make history book out of your heroic deeds. That every citizen in Belheim has to read, a mandatory read for all generations,
That
and
is
saying
certainly-
things like that.
That is certainly very flattering.
But yeah, as you wind down, telling your epic tale of dragon slaying, the Baroness does say, "Oh, what are your plans now then? If you were to stay at least another 3 days, I think we could get a proper festival going. I mean, we have to make this day. Well, we have to make today a holiday, at least."
Alicia nods and agrees, and says that she'll need to get this dragon head cleaned as well before she's on the road again.
Yes. Give the town 3 days to prepare a proper festival. We'll mount that dragon's head on a spike and show it in the town square. No dragon shall ever bother Belheim after that display.
Halldamir smiles and says, "Yes, I do think the people have earned the right to celebrate."
She nods and says, we have, after all, vanquished this great beast of evil.
Halldamir nods and says, "We have indeed." He smiles, looking at Alicia.
And that you have. You are now almost as famous as the Nazili Slayers. But you will be called the Belheim Slayers, I think. Don't you agree?
Oh, certainly. Why not?
She nods and
Yes.
says, as it is then.
Well, take your time, recover from your endeavor, and in 3 days we'll have a festival to rival the big ones in Absalom. Yes. A festival that will, well, the best we can do with the supplies we have.
Alicia
haven't
looks
really
for a
gotten
glass to
any-
raise.
We haven't gotten any supplies quite recently due to these creatures attacking caravans and stuff. But we'll make do, and it will be truly grand.
There's wine in the stores, there's meat in the forests, and there's wood all around.
We're gonna burn the forest down. Is that what
A
you're saying?
pyre in the city square with all the roasted meats. Well, again looks around. There being no real sort of dwarven-sized cups within reach.
Cyril will hand you the wine glass she has. She feels bad for you.
Oh, and the druid is on his way back.
I think he was back with us.
He's back. He came back with us, so.
And he's
Oh, yes, I heard. So he was helping the dragon?
It's a long story. It had captured his wife and was threatening to kill her.
I see.
He didn't
dragon
really help
truly
the
was-
dragon much.
Evil beast. That is good to hear.
If
think he
anything,
only-
he helped us more.
I think he only delivered messenger. What?
Messengers.
Thank you.
He was basically able to watch over the town without cause arising suspicion like a dragon would.
I see. Also, something peculiar happened while you were gone. There was a woman who apparently arrived. She wants to talk to you. I'm not sure how she made it through the forest with all the beasts around, but... Baroness shrugs.
I have a feeling. I have a feeling it's hard.
Business? Can it wait a few days? Looks around. I am itching to get drunk. I don't
Oh, I'm
understand.
sure it can't be that important.
It's a cultural thing. I mean, the great victory requires a great feast, like those of old.
I do think that we shouldn't keep our friendly dwarf here from the booze much longer. She might get rampant.
Yes, you
Oh,
have
she
certainly
knows.
earned your right to celebrate, and I will not stop you. I just wanted to inform you of this strange visitor.
She can come to our table tonight, I think. He's like sort of a devilish grin.
I do think she has booked a room in the Wise Piper Inn, but I have not seen her in the common room, at least. I'm sure she'll find you once you arrive. I would like to know who she is, though. Traveling through the forest with the forest teeming with many dragons and these bad beasts.
If she can't find her, tell her to find the dwarf with the giant skull of a dragon.
Aladar smiles and says, fear not, Baroness. We will look into it when the time is right.
If nothing else, I have a feeling entering the town wasn't the hard part. The hard part would be if she wanted to leave before.
I suppose. Although leaving the town should no longer be a problem thanks to you.
Now, no. Before, yes.
Well,
Now,
take your time to recover and get drunk and whatever it is you want to do. Certainly, if you need anything, just tell me. I will make it happen.
A pyre with lots of roasted meat.
It will be done.
An apple cider.
She seems even happier than before. Is she?
Apple cider will be done too.
Let's
think
actually
Evan
borrow
already has.
under the river just to get some dirt in her hair. And then,
Seeing that Elysia's going to go under, Fonder is going to sprint and try and.
As the others leave, Eladar will approach the Baroness.
marry me.
I love you.
You can't say no now.
Doing all of the battle, I could only think about you. No.
Quite.
He will look at the Baroness and say, Baroness, I have a favor to ask.
What is it?
I have noticed that the town does not have a proper shrine to Sandray. I was wondering if it would be possible to build one. The Dawnflower, I know, is not really popular in these parts, but I do think that as things have happened quite recently here, maybe her light shining upon the settlement might be a good thing for the future.
She looks quite thoughtful for a moment. I suppose you have a point, although faiths and religions in the past have been a major cause of trouble in the town's past. But I cannot refuse. I cannot refuse your offer.
Eladar frowns and says, if it will bring trouble to the town, then forget it. It is not my intent to bring strife to this place now that we have finally established peace. I was just wondering.
If you think it would help the town, then I am not a very religious person, I have to admit, but yes, we will have a shrine to Sarenrae, where people, if they want to, can worship her and ask for her protection. Although, I have to say, I do prefer the protection of men like you, rather than gods.
Well, Eladar smiles and says, those are oftentimes wise words, Baroness. The gods can be certainly aloof, and there is not often a mortal sword such as myself walk through town, I imagine. He smiles. Nevertheless, I will, with your blessing, then talk to some of the representatives of the churches, see what can be done. I shall also try to send a letter to one of the Sarenrae larger temples outside of Taldor. Perhaps they can send an acolyte here to tend to the shrine.
Baroness nods slowly. Yes, perhaps the goddess of light is exactly what this town needs.
He smiles again and says, Sarenrae is the goddess of redemption and mediation. Peace is her utmost goal. Such a thing should be quite fruitful in this town, I think. And if it is not, you can always send for me and I will come and sort it out. He kind of laughs a little bit.
Baroness smiles warmly. Says, you will always be welcome in this town, despite your... She points at you in general.
Yeah, he laughs. Thank you, Baroness. It is good to see that my actions speak larger and louder than my heritage in your eyes. And with that, he sort of looks around. I think I shall join my friends at the tavern. He
Baroness
bows.
nods again. The Baroness actually bows back ever so slightly.
Well, there you go. See? Well, Eladar will make his way back. Party! Like,
Drink to Hotton Mull.
Alicia is dancing with Hod and Mole on the table. Somehow her shirt is off.
A drink to Talia.
Now we need to get Theru to do like one of her exotic like dances or something. From
As
the farming.
Eladar. Sorry.
Sure, she
You don't really want to see Drow dance, I think.
As Eladar comes in, sort of,
Violence.
a cup is raised in one hand to Eladar, and then another one in the other hand to the goddess of the sun,
Oh,
to
Eladar.
redemption.
He laughs.
to the bird corner.
Sure, that gets too.
He sits down by the table, looks around and says, "My friends, I must truly thank you. Justice has been served this day. We have defeated a great evil, something I would never have done by myself. Truly, I am blessed with such people as you, as my compatriots." He bows to all of you in turn, and then he takes the mug and drinks quite heartily.
Good.
Yeah,
Get away with
sometime
anything else.
Sometime during the evening, both Hod and Mull hobble over towards you and start telling you how they defended the city. So well and so graceful that even the shadows themselves emerge to help them fight off the bad people from space.
Eladar will nod and hum and haw and be and like make the appropriate like gasps and such at the right place to certainly be very nice to these people.
Yeah. The sheriff just frowns at his two junior deputies and eventually just leaves.
Oh,
Saying
come on, don't be
nothing.
such a downer.
He is a
Sheriff.
downer, he's a sheriff.
Screw him. None of the merchant people coming in to drink. Have fun. No.
No, none of them.
Man, really? God, we have so much crap to sell.
Oh, you!
But that's not now. Right now, it's about partying and having like 3 days of drinking and then a festival to top it off.
Yep.
Wait, Vanwa should join us instead of sitting over there.
There's not really enough room at the bar here.
We just remove those guys. They're not.
Just kick them out.
Just punt them out.
No, they can. Now that they can sit there.
Yeah, you can just gently nudge them and they will slowly wobble
But
over into the corner.
if there's a sober person in this city, then we need them to dragged here and force fed alcohol until they can't spell their own name. That's the amount of.
Bonner will try not to get that drunk and will
That's the
pretend
amount
to
of
be drunk,
drunk we
however.
we're going to go.
Bonner pretends to be drunk.
Oh, she does now.
You're intoxicated, you probably have like a penalty on sense motive.
Sense motive to see if
Oh,
Bonner
yeah,
is drunk.
definitely.
I'm drunk. Yeah, Bonner,
whatever.
you
I
think
don't
Bonner's
care.
drunk.
Sure. She's a lightweight.
Wait a second, she's not.
It's not
drunk.
perception, it's sense motive.
Aw.
You don't look drunk.
We'll play dwarven drinking games
No,
that
she's definitely drunk.
that many others would see as just drinking.
Oh, sure.
It's like,
It's basically a two-player game.
yeah,
When-
every second you have to down a cup, and the one who stops earliest can't they lose.
Okay, sure.
It's a party game.
Sure, Eladar will sort of join into this.
Down as much as possible. Like,
Mhm. Let's make a constitution check, shall we? See how I do that.
A what game?
constitution check.
They're doing drinking games.
That's basically as good as I
Natural
can roll.
20!
Oh, I Tudor would join. She wouldn't know what the hell you were talking about, but 12.
Yeah.
You spent the evening drinking yourselves comatose,
Most of us, not all.
And the next couple of days.
and the next couple of days.
Like, we gotta keep it going so we don't get a headache
It's true. It's true.
until the festival.
I think my lay on
we
hands can do
might
something.
actually have to like take a night of rest so that we can not look super disheveled when there's the parade.
But,
At least you're sure there'll be a parade.
Does Iberian take part of the drinking contest?
Yeah, why not?
If you were to ask Tiro to show a dance from her tribe, she would definitely do it.
Oh, I am.
Oh, son of a bitch.
I certainly want to see a Minkayan catfolk dance.
She would dance on that table over here.
Oh, great. Eladar will sit next and sort of he will clap. And,
You're gonna put $1 in my bra?
No.
That kind of dance.
Is it that kind of dance?
Pot will try.
But that's in Eladar's.
Yeah, Eladar gets it, so he's like, what? I don't even have a cleavage, really. I mean...
Take this.
Yeah,
take this
between those
piece.
rock hard pectorals you do.
Oh, you charmer.
It is kind of seductive. I will admit that.
Oh yeah, sure. Eladar will look and be quite happy to stomp his foot, like keep the beat, so to speak. Claps and stomps.
He'd probably be in the other end, telling amazing stories and tales of great battles and long lost honors and such. That only a true dwarf can appreciate, but this is a time to remember that.
Fondra's going to be actually doing something quite interesting, which is
Sitting on the dragon head.
Fondra's actually going to be brewing some things together and occasionally basically throwing out one of her crystals, which doesn't explode, but instead just kind of fizzles and like sends out little sparks of light, basically little party poppers.
Fireworks. Talia frowns.
They're not causing any damage. It's just little pretty sparks.
Barian will help Alicia tell the story in putting kind of like, and also this kind of sections.
And then we went to the monastery, and he's like, "Oh, the monastery does this because I'm local, so I know all the things."
Yeah.
Sure. Putting a local spin on it.
Sure. All the people intently listen to every word you say. And you can be quite sure that whatever you say will go down in this town's history books.
Oh. The Iron Star clan will be named like so many times.
But yeah, eventually the evening winds down. People leaving, finally feeling somewhat safe at least.
They leave it the evening?
Well, the next day's morning, I'd say.
All right.
That's probably
That's better.
at dawn. Finally feeling safe. There still has to be done a lot of work in the town, like getting away all the bad people corpses.
Yeah, that's not
cleaning
us,
up, catching up on work.
Probably
But
like
you can keep
Well, you say
celebrating.
that's not us, but I still have to help because I live here.
Probably like at 10 in the morning, Alicia's gonna go to sleep. She didn't plan on it, but hey, she does sleep, so.
Fauna does actually wake up pretty early in the morning because she actually went to sleep last night. You guys didn't really notice.
No, Alicia wouldn't.
Not with my stealth check. No, you
You're
wouldn't.
like one of the only person in this town who doesn't need to hear the story. I mean,
Yeah, I heard. I experienced it. But yeah, in the morning I'll help clean up the town.
you were there.
Fauna will help clean up the town somewhat. As well as a normal
Marian's
routine
kind of
of,
obligated to also do that.
as well as a normal routine of running around, brewing, and reading.
Hey guys, can I sleep between you?
You're muted.
Can I sleep between you two?
I don't think you want to, but sure.
Yeah, it's
Alicia is much like right now. She's kind of like she doesn't really look that noble.
No.
Like you say, after a day almost of hard partying after killing a dragon, she smells a little bit.
By the way,
rancid.
Eladar,
Yes.
your character will, whenever your character goes to sleep, my character will place something next to you on the bed, which when you wake up in the morning you'll realize is alchemist kindness, which removes being drunk and hangovers.
Oh, that's very nice. He will,
Unfortunately,
Come on,
I
then.
have one of those, so
he will take that gratefully, and then he will go out to the temples to talk things over about the shrine.
This guy. Oh, it's been a party day. Let's go to church.
He's a paladin.
I could imagine that Abiri and Tiro and Alicia just sleeping in one big bed.
This is a
If they have
pile.
one, she doesn't really give a damn right now. She doesn't
You
even
would
take her
think
armor
so.
off. She just collapses like on it. The luck meal.
Yeah, eventually the next day comes
And passes, probably.
with and passes. Although in the afternoon you would see a person in the tavern that you have not quite seen before.
Guess we're down like eating breakfast.
Yeah, so
I would
eating
not be in the
breakfast,
tavern. I'm cleaning
eating
up.
lunch, eating dinner.
Whatever, it's bacon and sausages. Don't care what you call it. Yeah.
The woman sits kind of to the side, just talking quietly to Talia. She is rather short, blonde hair, green eyes, but her clothing is certainly a contrast to the very utilitarian clothing of the townsfolk and the farmers here. With a blue blouse, tight-fitting pants, and high heels, she looks very out of place in a farming town like Belheim. But as she sees the group of you congregate, she moves over and says, "Ah, you must be the Belheim Slayers then. Quite the nickname for your group, isn't it?"
Alicia sort of moves her head forward, looking past everybody else. Looking at this woman, sort of says, "You haven't heard the tale yet?"
Oh, I have many times, I'm sure. You don't quite need to tell me all the details.
Eladar looks at her, quirks an eyebrow and says, "And why then, good lady, would you approach such slayers? Do you know of another dragon that needs to be taken care of?"
Alicia's head perks.
Not quite. You see, I came here to investigate some message from one of my employer's agents, something about an attack during the auction that he was supposed to take part in. But as I see it, it's already been taken care of, which I appreciate quite a bit. Although I do have some questions. Perhaps you would like to not tell me the tale, but what happened when you fought the dragon? You have killed him, obviously, but how exactly? What happened during the fight?
Alicia begins to narrate the fight with all its epic and drama. Heroic strokes and movements, sun glinting in armor, the terror of the great beast.
She doesn't look as interested as the townsfolk were, but she certainly listens quite intently. Says, "Yes, but that doesn't explain." She hesitates. "You see, when I approached the town, that was 2 days ago, I believe, at some point I felt something quite extraordinary, something clearly magical. It was at the same time that you must have killed the dragon, from my calculations at least. So,
Well, when the dragon was slain, he was being dragged into some sort of... He sort of frowns and says, hole in reality, I suppose. We don't really saw what tried to drag him in there, but once we chopped off the tail got dragged in and the hole in reality closed. I think it was a window. It was called to some far-off place called the Shadow Realm or some such. The Far Realm. He sort of frowns, trying to remember.
We blew it up.
Yes, the portal collapsed.
she looks thoughtful for a moment. I see. That
The
doesn't make
dragon,
much sense now, does it?
The dragon surely didn't want to go in there. He even fought against it as much as he could and screamed to us for mercy. So we killed him.
Oh.
Something
Oh.
along the lines of "Don't let them take me." And as to who them were, I cannot say. Possibly the extra planar creatures he had bargained for power with. I am not sure. But with the portal closed, I assume that the threat was over.
A magical phenomenon that reduced a big dragon to a mewling infant.
Almost as easily it did it as I did. Or any of us.
Elora sort of rolls his eyes
Makes more.
to Leandra at this.
I see, yeah. So, what are you planning to do now that you've saved the town and become famous dragon slayers?
He just stopped smiling for a moment, so it seemed thoughtful.
I am not sure. I suppose I will travel the roads again. This town has been saved, but there are many more places where darkness and evil gather, and I intend to, well, be in the way of that as much as possible. The light is needed where it is the darkest, after all.
She looked and says, I truly didn't expect for this event to happen, but fortunate as we were to be here when it did. Sort of, how lucky we were that the town would be targeted like this.
Yes, how
Frowns.
lucky the town was to be targeted indeed.
Eldar shoots her
I had the chance to finally prove my ability. I will likely take the skull of this dragon after the festival, and Tuxedo says I will likely travel home with it. It is far too big to carry around the road, and I would so hate to leave it. I'm sure my clansmen would be much honored to have me bring this to them. It speaks much stronger than rumors.
Iberian says, well, this is my home. I'm probably going to have to stay here to continue helping out the town and protect it when necessary. It's what I was going to do anyway.
I see. I would like to talk to my employer first, but I would like you to talk to me after the festivities. I would not want to bother you with talks of business before your great day. But I do think... Yeah?
Can Eladar get a sense from her when she says this? Because she's acting kind of weird, he thinks.
You know, Eladar certainly thinks that she is acting rather weird.
Eladar concentrates for a second. Is she evil?
She is not evil.
Alright.
She will be herself and say, oh, I go where I'm needed.
She nods at that. There are things I will have to investigate. I would like to talk to you after the festivities in a couple of days. I do have a room here in the Wise Piper, and if you could simply come there, or otherwise I will look for you.
That
But
is fine.
for now, you have answered my questions. Not quite as thoroughly as I would have liked, I have to admit. But, well,
She looks
I
like
suppose-
annoyed with this woman.
I suppose I can find out some other things on my own. There are some mysteries about this whole incident that, quite frankly, worry me quite a bit, even though it doesn't seem to bother you at all. Do you just accept this strange force almost taking away your kill?
Because I would not accept it. If it actually had done it, we would have hunted that thing down until it gave us back what we had deserved.
Eladar frowns and says, well, do you suggest that there is still some danger regarding those portals? We did shut them down, both of them.
I do not want to suggest too much until I've talked to my employer, but perhaps
Then
enjoy
perhaps-
your celebrations for now. We will talk later, I think. If you're still interested, that is. There may be both a job opportunity as well as an opportunity to do good, as they say. While also being paid quite a bit, I would
Snort
imagine.
slightly.
Very well then. We shall talk later, I suppose.
She nods. Then quickly walks back up the stairs into a room, looking quite thoughtful all the while.
What does she mean we didn't explain it thoroughly?
And frowns and says,
Who does she think she is?
I get a sense that the woman is some sort of wizard, perhaps. And
Witch.
and what I know of those is that they always ask the most impertinent questions and are also somewhat rude about it.
We should
looks
tell the
after-
Baroness not to sell the wizard man to her, at least. She's a downer.
He nods.
Well, I suppose that we can go visit her before I leave. Oh, scoffs. Although she will have to do a lot to please me. I don't really need her money anymore. I suppose we have much to do today, then.
Much drinking to do.
Yeah, exactly. As she orders, like a round for everyone.
Best get started.
Yeah.
Glug, glug, glug.
Besides, this headache's only going to go away in one way.
Oh, talks.
Eladar hands one of the pills over to her.
She looks at it sort of weirdly.
It makes the headache go away. He nods.
She looks at Ella and says, I was always warned against this.
Against his frowns
Slope, they said.
against medicine.
Taking pills in inns when I'm drunk.
Eladar laughs.
The elders said there should be a limit to the scandals a young dwarf could be in. Then again, I don't suppose I'm that young anymore. She sort of downs the pill.
The headache vanishes.
And most of the scandal happened when you danced with those two at the table, I think. He laughs softly.
Okay, as long as I don't build this statue out of that.
That would be something, indeed. Eats up, and I suppose he then heads out into town to get the real celebration starting. Because apparently there's going to be a parade.
Today?
Wasn't it today? Didn't we skip until today?
No.
Let's skip until the parade.
To the parade!
Sure. Yeah. The roads of the town are cleaned of gore and blood, of bad people corpses.
Bombs are especially good at blowing corpses off the road.
I need him to heal Hammer. He can't look this hurt for the parade.
Yeah. The clerics of Abada will certainly do whatever it is you need them to do, including healing and removing any ailments that may affect you, including hangovers.
Oh, sure. At least you will even ask to be able to take a bath before the parade.
Oh, we
look
can
at this.
certainly do that.
And after all, she hasn't taken one of the last 3 days after fighting dragons, so... Like, the grime was gathering up, also carrying the damn skull around and such. Which is a skull now. She's generally been chopping at it. Whenever she's been bored. So I'm probably out, like, here at, like, the beach. There's, like, a gore splatter.
Clear up,
Dragon brains and whatnot.
Clear up.
That she's been chopping out into the water. Carelessly. Filling it with gore.
The town's streets are decorated with like quickly made flags of what is supposed to be a sigil of some sort, but you can't really tell what it is because all the flags are different. Likely because all the different people who made the flags had a different idea of what the sigil is supposed to look like. But you're sure that eventually it will kind of coalesce into one symbol for the Belheim Slayers. The streets are, for the first time that you have been in Belheim, completely full of people, which is quite surprising considering the small size of the town, but it seems that with no exception everyone has come, including the sheriff, who says that he's mostly here just to keep watch over everyone.
And he's such a sour.
Not because he wants to celebrate you or anything. But you know,
Okay.
as soon as you turn your back, you do notice that he does seem to be rather impressed by you. Probably to the point of jealousy.
Oh, he's being a... Man, he left here when the problem started. He's in on it.
Get him!
Burn Schmop!
Could probably get him to do that, yes, if he wanted, but that seems kinda...
Well, he doesn't care. He can be jealous if he wants to. He can't help it. He's a human after all.
It's true. Only human.
The short lives, the prone to jealousy.
But yeah, the festivities are simple but rather moving, as the town really, really means the celebrations. It's not just a thing they do every year because they do it every year. It's something that they want to feel grand, and you certainly get the feeling.
Yeah.
The Baron is holding a quick speech about the Slayers of Belheim going down in Teldor history. How they have vanquished the dragon, how no dragon in the future will ever bother Belheim again, and things like that.
She also whispers to the others that if it happens again, or to Iberian, that if it happens again, she must send a missive, because she wouldn't want to miss that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he will. He'll definitely agree. He'll do that. I mean, he's not too confident that any more dragons will appear, but
I mean, Eladar will certainly.
yeah.
Next one might be bigger than this one, you know?
Next week, another one appears.
Real fat one.
And we won't lose its tail this time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Eladar will ask him also to look after the town now that, most of us are seemingly traveling away.
The Baroness also gives you the chance to hold your own speech.
Oh, Alicia will hold speech.
No.
We will let Alicia hold a speech. I think.
Quoting long parts of some book, probably, that is referred to only in Dwarven. The parts quoted also being in Dwarven.
And it's all like
Very long and solemn. Very long lists of names and sons and daughters of someone. Something about a clan shifting names through time and ancient deeds and a hall that fell from the Iron Star and yeah. It's a long tale. Long tale. But it ends with the city now being better than it ever has been, and a time of troubles being gone, and now good will come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The sun, the clouds have moved from the sun, and it shines upon the land.
Townsfolk certainly listen intently, although some have a hard time suppressing their obvious boredom. But they humble you, because you saved the town after all.
She will call out to put the meat on the spids and open the kegs, even if there aren't kegs, and then that's where she'll be, in the meat and the kegs.
Sure. Festivities are a great success. Everyone having fun. A happy ending for everyone, as the town is now saved.
Indeed.
Except for that damn lady sitting in her room being like, and they won't even talk to me first. She said I pay them. Money's worth more than fun.
You can buy anything with money. Isn't that right? And she has like a mimic pet or something.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, well. I guess when the festivities wind down slowly but surely, Eldar will, approach the tavern, wipe the confetti out of his hair. And I suppose approach the mysterious woman at the inn.
If anyone told Fronra about this, then she would have come. Well,
Where's Fonra?
she's at the festival. She wasn't there during your meeting with the woman because she was busy cleaning up the town.
Oh, alright. Yes, been out working. Alright, sure. Working girl. Can't have any fun?
Had fun.
It's okay.
I'm at the festival.
And Talia can direct you to the woman's room. It's at the back left, the tavern. And,
Back left of the tavern.
yeah. And as you enter the room of her, I suppose, she is currently sitting on her bed, cross-legged, just looking at you, smiling slightly. Ah, I see. You've taken up on my offer then. I have to apologize. I think I should introduce myself properly first, shouldn't I? I am Leandra Vestrom, Secretary to Farkelm Eisenberg of the Eisenberg Consortium. I'm pleased to meet you, the Slayers of Belheim.
Eleanor nods to her. Lady, he says, I have not agreed to anything as of yet. I'm here to listening to what you want.
You've agreed to talk to me, at least, it seems, which I appreciate. I'm sorry if I came up as rude, I would say. I am rather worried about many things, which is partly why I want to talk to you again. I would like to offer you an opportunity. I have to be somewhat cryptic, I'm afraid. My employer is a man who likes his secrets a lot, and you still have the possibility of refusing the offer, of course. But I would like to invite you to my employer's manor. He would like to personally ask you some questions about the encounter with the dragon, as well as potentially, as I've said, offer you a job or two. It's mostly just, if you want to head south towards Casimir, you might as well accept my offer. You will at least get a free ride in a rather luxurious carriage.
Very well. Can you give us any more specifics on what this actually is?
Well, first of all, this is an offer for a free ride south, at least. If you then agree to meet with my employer, then he would be very grateful. If you answer his questions, he would be even more grateful. And then, well, if you're looking for things to do, good to do, then my employer might also have an opportunity in that regard. I cannot answer too many questions. I am a messenger more than anything else.
He frowns at her and says, I see. Well, as you know, I am a warrior of the Dawnflower. I cannot in good conscience agree to much to anything unless I get a full explanation of what I'm actually supposed to do. I have a sort of a code of conduct I must adhere to.
You will not be required to do anything you do not agree to, of course. The details will be explained by my employer. I will tell you that much, Paladin. There are mysteries out there that need to be investigated. What you've encountered in this dragon fight I have not witnessed, of course, but I felt its effect over a rather large distance. What you've seen might not be the only occurrence, and whatever has caused it is powerful, to say the least. Its intentions unknown. Its capabilities unknown. It is... She hesitates. I'm telling you too much already. If certain details come to light, then my employer would be rather, well, disappointed in my lack of discreetness, I would say. I will tell you that he is not a bad man. He has good intentions, as ruthless and as greedy as he might look to the outside. He is rich, successful. He has many workers for him, many employees, including me. But what he does not have is people able to deal with things that might endanger many people. She does seem to really be choosing her words carefully in this.
Eleanor will nod and say, very well. Since the troubles of the Belham have been laid to rest, I think I shall take you up on this offer to travel south with you.
She nods. All I'm requesting is at least that you meet with my employer. The offer he will give you, you can refuse, of course. But I have a feeling that it is something you wish to pursue.
Very well. When will the carriage be leaving?
Well, the carriage is currently in the tavern stable. the carriage can leave whenever you are ready. Just talk to Benny outside. He will be tending to the carriage currently and the horses, and you will travel south. I do have to say that I will not be accompanying you on the travel south. I have different means of travel as well as things to take care of first.
Very well then. Halldamir gets up, gathers his things, and says, I guess I will be ready within an hour or two.
Well, he just stands and looks a little bit, sort of says, that's very quick, isn't it?
He motions towards her. The lady seems quite concerned, Alicia.
So she looks a little bit saddened, part of smile all these days. Says, my road does not lead me south. I'll go north towards the Five King Mountains.
He stops for a second and then slowly nods. I see. I suppose this is where our roads diverge then.
He's a
Alicia,
little saddened.
if you're taking the northern road out of here, I'll be accompanying you. I have business I need to attend to up north.
Sort of a slight smile. He says, good, I had hoped to have someone else with me for the long road through the forest. It's not really my terrain. Last time I went there, I got so horribly lost.
I can guide you as far up as the most northern of the Elven realms.
If you follow the river, that should be fine.
That can work, yes. I have business from the Elven homelands.
Just, she looks back to Eladar and says, and to Tira and Hyperion for that matter, and says, I hope this will not be the last time I see you, however. We are bound by deeds, indeed.
Well, Tito smiles and goes, and I never say goodbye for real.
If you ever end up coming to the court of the Dwarven Kings, then says, I will likely be there, dressed in ceremonial armor, wielding the banner of my house.
Halldamir smiles. I can think of no more fitting place for you, Alicia. If my travels ever take me up north, I will be sure to come and visit.
Tito smiles. Me too.
If I ever get a whiff of any of you nearby to wherever I am at the time, I will come to visit. Nibirian, if you're staying here, I might send you a letter every now and again.
Oh.
Halldamir then gets up and says, it has...
Alicia moves in to give him sort of a quick hug. Probably squeezing him more than usual.
Yeah, he stops for a second and hugs back. Patting her on the back with a gloved hand.
She'll move on to Tiro. Yeah.
Oh, Tito will give you a bear hug. Tito will yell after Elada, I'll come with you. I like adventure. That's kind of my thing, traveling.
Then she'll reach out her hand to Hyperion.
Aww.
And if he grabs it, she'll also move in to hug him.
Jake,
A slight grin.
it's
Derp.
you, man.
Not hugging anyone.
A Baron doesn't like to be touched.
No hugs from a Barian.
Well, he gets one.
He gets... Okay. That's acceptable.
Fine.
And she will pat Aki on the head also.
Aki being very happy.
And
Oh, Hammer, come here.
it lets out a little deep sort of squeeing sound. Not really sure why.
Who can say, really?
But, she looks at the others.
Halldamir will make a rather sort of elaborate hand gesture as he bows to all of the party sort of going away, and he will say, "Elunai Berana, my friends, and may the light always shine upon you."
I'd like to speak to you all a little bit more before we go. There is still some stuff from the Horde which we didn't account for.
He knows. I suppose we should take the time to sell that off to the various merchants in town.
It is only fair we all get a little bit of it before we go.
It seems that you might need it faster than I would. If there's something we have a hard time selling off, I could take that as my share.
Also, Elida, I thought this may happen where our paths may have to go away, but let's hope it's not the end. You gave me a bit more hope for your people. Gestures out a hand.
Eladar will shake her hand.
You also noticed there was something in her hand when you shake it.
Buzzer.
Yes.
You notice the dragon foe amulet sitting there.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to be needing it anymore.
He nods. Thank you.
Tiro basically jumps Fawn right in a hug.
You'll get a hug back.
Yay!
And at the end of the hug, Fawn will reach into a pocket and pull out a necklace with one of Fawn's crystals that seems to be almost like perfect clarity to it, and gesture it out on a string, so it's made into a necklace towards Tiro.
Oh,
Keep this.
Tiro looks extremely happy. Nods. I will.
Barbarian, I don't have much for you, but if I find anything that I find any good souvenirs, I'll make sure I send one to you.
Barbarian laughs and says, "Don't worry, I'll be dumping some of my things, guys, as well. I'm not sure that I'll need a ring that lets me resist acid. You know,
I guess village.
No acid in sight.
Yes, village life rarely does this anymore to us.
Tiro looks to Eladar. Do you mind if I join you on the trip?
He shakes his head. Absolutely not.
I forgot to ask you.
You're always welcome to accompany me.
He looks at Iberian. Just don't go into the basement of that tower.
I wasn't planning on it.
Not without that thing, at least.
Anyway,
Shudder slightly.
Anyway, I'm gonna go downstairs and prepare what we got from the horde to put together.
Very well.
At least we have each other.
I'll go help Fonra.
You basically see Fonra dragging a huge chest down the stairs.
Sure, at least you'll go help.
You know, if Iberian is uncomfortable, Tiro will offer a paw, to shake.
Eladar will look at his friends and mumble that to say goodbye is to die a little bit, and then he will sort of follow the others. Go through all the loot, I suppose.
This is like the awkward moment when it's like, you're walking down the hallway in like a school or a building with your friend, and you're like, all right, I gotta go, see ya, and then you both walk the same direction.
Mm-hmm. In the Skype, I posted a list of all the stuff we haven't sold, and its value.
Yeah.
The screaming bolts, I realized that no one here actually uses bolts, because everyone here is using arrows. So they're probably a sale item.
Let's see here.
The star knife, that is the favorite weapon of Desna.
It is. Do any of us actually worship Desna?
I can't even use it.
I think, let's see, what do we have here?
That flaming burst longbow.
Right.
And then, of course, we have a ton of money, but the money's I've calculated already.
What does the ring of animal friendship do? Talk to animals?
I will find that out for you.
It's really not worth it, honestly, but...
If she wants it.
I'm just asking.
The Ring of Animal Friendship, on command, it affects an animal as if you would cast Charm Animal.
Oh, never mind.
More interested in the winged
It's
boots.
on command, though. But yeah, I get it. I mean, it's worth a lot, so it's money.
The wing boots would certainly be very useful, like putting fly on someone is really
But
handy.
basically, Alicia will take whatever's of it. I mean, she would like the bow, of course, but, as a player, I kind of don't want to take his stuff from you guys if you need it later, because Alicia's going to take it with her and
Sure,
walk
disappear.
into the.
I think
She could come back
things-
sometime.
Well,
But
part of Elysia's loot is an entire dragon.
Things
that doesn't count.
things we should keep for the group pile is the Wand of Longstrider and Remove Paralysis, I think, because those are useful.
Yeah, wands are always good to keep.
We should keep those.
Keep the belt of physical might.
The Belt of Physical Might would be nice for Eladar, certainly.
I think let's go through. So the Belt of Physical Might, I think that's fair enough to go to Eladar.
Cape of the Mountebank doesn't really matter.
What does it do?
Like, it's Dimension Door once a day.
It's like, yeah.
Oh.
Actually, I was thinking of something else. Cape of the Mountebank is decent, actually.
I think that was it, at least.
I'm looking
I
it
think
up.
I'll sell
Let's
it
see.
important child.
Also, by the way,
Yeah, one spray on command, Dimension Door.
Eladar will also be given the Wand of Cure Light Wounds.
Oh, sure.
Actually, 2 Wands of Cure Light Wounds, so one only has 1 charge left. We're hardly. I can keep me in Elysia healthy enough. Looks like you have a bigger issue to deal with. Keep safe.
Indeed.
Yes. So I've made a small edit on this. We've got some keeps and we've got a cell paladin.
I mean, the wing boots should probably be kept. And for someone in the group, I don't know exactly who's going to be able to cast fly and on what now and who, but they are super useful.
The scroll and potions can be sold.
Is the
Those are-
flaming burst longbow better than the one I have? The keen.
Dragonbane?
I mean, it's
I
not-
don't know.
So,
It's not best. I mean,
Well.
it's better if you're not fighting dragons.
Hmm.
you know, what would be better would be a keen flaming burst longbow.
Yeah, but
But
right. No one here's using bucklers, are they?
No.
No.
So sell the buckler.
Is any of the other characters using bucklers?
I'm not.
Alicia?
That-
No.
No, I mean of the new characters.
Well, that doesn't matter anyway. Our characters
don't
are
know.
keep it. Anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think so.
No. What? No one. I don't.
Star knife. No one's using star knives. That can
No
probably be
one's using
sold.
Star Knife, sell that.
Mace. Sell a mace.
I don't give a shit
Again,
about
if
what's
you don't
the
want to
mace.
use the bow, just sell it, and then imagine that Alicia takes it, but just,
Well,
as her
I,
part of the, or some of her part of the treasure.
I kind of want to know if I should
The cost
take
can be
it,
reduced from Elysia's gold.
Sure.
if I
Alicia
should
will-
take it or not.
Well, do you want it?
Is it better than
It
the
gives 1d, like this, your one you have now crits more often. This one does more damage.
This one does more
Yeah,
fire.
this-
It's fire
the-
damage.
the
per hit.
other
This
one-
one, I think, on average, will be better.
It's 1d6 extra
Yeah.
fire damage per hit, and then
It's
1d10.
1d6 fire damage and then 1d8 extra on top of that on a crit.
Yeah, it's pretty good. The ring about animal friendship is a cell.
I'd probably take this bow.
Yeah, I would.
Alicia will have the other one if you don't mind then.
the dragon one?
She would take the dragon bow. That seems fair. Elysia's kind of person fighting a
So
dragon.
the bolts.
So there you go. I
I-
mean, just made some changes.
wait, what?
Hmm?
I guess I'll Kitty.
You know, it's my way of remembering who's who.
You could just
Take
make
the mountebank.
the cat a smiley.
I could use the cat's money.
What's the
We should- Keep the cape with the mountebank and the winged boots.
Who's taking them is the question.
Right. Well, we
just
could just
keep?
like
I just put them in the bag for now.
yeah.
But that means
Too useful to pass.
Tiru
up.
and Eladar.
Yeah.
So
You know,
keep
Eladar
circle
can wear
persuasion.
them for the time being because he has so much trouble keeping up with the.
Oh,
I
sure.
guess with circular persuasion.
You can
problem
already
now-
fly technically with your bird.
No, I only have.
She has to reduce the bird and enlarge. She has to reduce herself and enlarge the bird.
I got
so-
those potions from
Honor.
Fauna.
Oh, okay.
The circlet
Yeah.
of persuasion. I think.
Well, you can get
sold
those
it on
spells,
the-
right,
does
as a
the-
ranger?
Well, if
Not in
so,
large
not
person, I don't think.
if so, not yet.
for the circuit of persuasion,
I was intelligent enough.
Eladar can't really use it because he's already got his like hat of.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, plus it's not even +3 on charisma. It's just +3 on charisma based checks.
Well, yes, someone might still want it,
So-
except Eladar can't use it. He's already got a head slot item,
I think it can be sold personally.
which means I believe we're at this. Then is the total thing. If so, I will add up the loot.
Where can I find the stats of the flaming?
I can edit your weapon.
Do you want me to just do your token?
Or Jake can do it. Jake
That would be smashing.
Awesome.
Thank you, Jake.
Okay.
Smashing.
So
You
you
make it-
say that you want to head out right away, then spend multiple hours bickering about loot. Okay.
We're not really bickering about it. We're kind of just like shifting piles around.
Yeah.
I
You take this and I take this. That means.
Well, I mean,
carry-
Eladar and Terra need to have their share in, like, easily carryable coin. Well, like, Elysia could take, like, rocks and all kinds of crap. Because he has hammer to carry it.
You know,
And, I mean, the most cumbersome stuff, Iberian can keep, because, put it in his house.
Like this armor we found.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
we did, or at least you guys said that maybe Twitter should have a weapon besides ranged weapon.
Yeah, a longsword, maybe.
Is that a simple weapon?
You're a ranger. You can
you
use
can equip
longsword.
martial weapons though. You equip martial weapons.
Martial weapons and all simple weapons.
Yeah.
Yep.
None of those there were. None of those. I mean, you could take the mace, I guess, but
Yeah, sure. Mace is better than any other weapon you can buy
it's better
here.
than nothing.
Okay, so
Sense.
plus 2 light mace.